Beneath miles of sand, between wind-cut dunes and satellite shadows, a city sleeps. Not a village, not a tomb, a place that once stored the world's knowledge. A library of scrolls, maps, and learning amassed from lost kingdoms. Today, new images suggest a massive buried complex. And an impossible question. What if a library of wisdom lies under the desert, wiped from history? Last year, satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar showed geometric anomalies beneath an unmapped stretch of desert. Straight lines in a world of wind-swept curves. Archaeologists call such patterns non-natural, a phrase that opens the door to questions no scientist can ignore. LiDAR, GPR, and multispectral satellite scans are now standard tools. In this case, they reveal rectilinear foundations, courtyards, and long linear features. The visible bones of a planned complex. Teams who visited the site report pottery shards and worked stone at shallow depths, suggesting human activity. But the deeper story is complex and contested. A grid of rooms and long halls could mean many things. A palace, a market, a manufactory. But one repeated spatial signature caught researchers' eyes. Long vaulted halls arranged like shelves, central atriums that suggest public reading spaces. Across history, large libraries share architectural traits: storage stacks, clerestory lighting, controlled circulation. When we overlay known library blueprints with the ghosted layout in the sand, the resemblance is striking. This does not prove a library, but it is a hypothesis that deserves testing. We must also ask, what would people collect? In many ancient centers, libraries held maps, medical treatises, math tables, star charts. If a desert archive existed, the intellectual cost of its loss could be enormous. Where science finds shards, people keep stories. The desert is not a blank slate. It is a landscape crowded with memory. Nomads, caravanners, and oases communities have long told tales of buried cities, of libraries swallowed by storms, of signs left in the dunes. We traveled to villages near the survey area. Elders speak of ruins glimpsed at moonrise. Children learn tales of stone halls beneath the sand. Oral histories do not replace archaeology, but they offer leads, names, and surprising details that satellites cannot see. Together, oral memory and geophysics form a map. Science points, people point, and together we begin to excavate meaning from silence. How does a library vanish? The desert buries slowly and suddenly. Sand can creep like water, burying courtyards and roofs. Catastrophes, floods, earthquakes, invasion can accelerate loss. We examine models of burial and the geological record for answers. Climate shifts, pluvial periods followed by aridity, change river courses and lead to sudden sedimentation. Tectonic events can collapse structures, while human conflict can burn and scatter collections. If a library once existed, its disappearance could be multi-causal: environment, politics, and time. Understanding the cause is not merely academic. It tells us whether anything could survive and where to look for the archives that might remain. Libraries are engines of civilization. They preserve laws, calendars, medicines, star charts, and technology. When a library dies, entire trajectories of knowledge can vanish, sometimes forever. Imagine medical treatises that might have prevented plagues, or navigational tables that could have changed trade routes. We do not claim to know the contents of a buried archive, but by comparing known libraries and local cultures, scholars can hypothesize plausible holdings. Treatises on irrigation, astronomical observations, cartography, and texts in languages now lost. The intellectual cost, if even a fraction of this was real, would be enormous. The desert's erasure could have delayed discoveries by centuries. Briefly, what if the library had survived? Imagine a connected desert civilization exchanging math and medicine with riverine cultures, steering trade and knowledge into new pathways. Cities might have flourished in the Sahara's oases. Colonial histories could look different. This is not our claim. It's a thought experiment. But it shows why the search matters: to recover what was lost, and to understand how fragile human knowledge can be. The desert keeps secrets. Science opens doors slowly: LiDAR, GPR, and patient fieldwork. If even part of this hypothesis is true, it reshapes not just history, but our sense of where knowledge can come from. It reminds us that loss is sometimes literal: books, maps, formulas swallowed by sand. If you want us to follow the field teams and show the excavation results as they come in, hit subscribe. Tell us in the comments, what would you hope to find in a lost library? We'll read the best answers in the next video.